Hello and welcome to Guns and Gear. So as y'all can figure out, doing a little camping. I'm out here enjoying some time in the woods with my best friend Ham. And you know what? Really haven't had too much time to make videos. We've been dodging rainstorms, a little bit of high winds and stuff of that nature, and you know, repairing tarps and trying to get everything from getting wet. You know, all the things that happen every time you plan a camping trip, right? So thought I would talk a little bit. This is a Guns and Gear channel. I love the camp and stuff, but I always end up talking about guns and things of that nature, and talk about the handgun that I brought with me on this trip. Now this right here is a Ruger Security 6, okay, with a 4-inch barrel. And the Ruger Security 6 came out before the GP 100, and that was, I don't know, somewhere around late 80s when the GP 100 came out. Y'all have probably seen, if you look back at some of the collection videos, that I have a 6-inch GP 100 that doesn't have that full lug. That was the very first GP 100 that came into the gun shop. I was sitting on the list waiting to get that. Go ahead and unload this gun and show you. It's basically a fairly heavy frame for a revolver. It would, I guess it would be, it's a little bit heavier frame than the L frame on Smith & Wesson's, like the 686. A little bit more stout frame than the frame you see for the Pythons and the Colt Troopers and those types of guns. One of the reasons why I love Ruger handguns is, one, the revolvers they're built like tanks. They are almost overbuilt. But if you don't mind carrying one around on your hip, it's an outstanding firearm. Now, as good as the GP 100 is, I still say that I like the Ruger Security 6 better than the GP 100, and that's because it's a full frame gun, and I'll show you the back strap. It doesn't have that weird thing that the GP 100s came out with for their frame. And it's all stainless steel, except for the sights and maybe some springs. All the components to make up the trigger group and everything about this gun is just 100% solid stainless steel. And you know, they didn't make this gun for a very long time. I think they started making the gun in the mid-70s, and it made it until the late 80s. I might be wrong about the mid-70s part, but at any rate, this was a very solid firearm, and it was a firearm that a lot of police agencies used, either the Security 6 or the Police 6 or Speed 6. They had a lot of similar attributes to them. Of course, they might have had a little bit more of a rounded off grip frame, but all in all, a very heavy built 357 Magnum. And of course, the ammunition that I had loaded up into this is from Double Tap, and it is a 200 grain hard cast lead round. Has very good ballistics and just a ton of penetration power, so it makes for a good wilderness defense round, so to speak, when your first line of thought is a 4-legged creature versus a 2-legged creature. So thought I'd give y'all a quick look at the Ruger Security 6. I bought this gun used, maybe 88, 89, somewhere along in that time frame. And I've put a lot of rounds through this thing. I've carried it for, you know, a period of time, and it's spent a lot of time in the woods with me. It's just a great all-around handgun. You know, I've said it before that, you know, people back in the day when they would go and they would seek out revolvers for defense or for hunting or things of that nature, that they would first go and look at the Colts because they're the prettiest. And then they would look at the Smith & Wessons because they're a little bit more reasonably priced, but they could afford the Ruger. And the Ruger is what I've always, Ruger handguns, Ruger revolvers especially, I've always considered them a working man's type of revolver because of their price point and because they're so ruggedly built. All right, well that's it. Just a little quick video of my Ruger Security 6 at 357 Magnum. Thank y'all, and by the way, first time ever, I got a cameraman behind the camera there. So,
My pleasure.
Thank you, Ham, for holding on to the camera. And remember to shoot straight on the range and in life. Thanks.